back with Siskel and Ebert, and how you doing, gentlemen?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you watch a lot of movies. One of the questions I was on my mind, I've always wanted to ask you, is I know you separate the good and bad movies for us, but don't you think there's a need for those bad movies?
Well, you're probably talking about the so-called good-bad movie. You know, the movie's so bad it's good.
Right.
But if that movie is so bad it's good, then it's good. And so there is no need for bad movies, but there is a need, let's say, for what you could call classy trash. Movies like Swamp Thing, for example, which I enjoyed very much, or Hairspray. Movies like that are not prestigious artistic products, but are fun. But then they're not bad in that case.
Okay, so there is a need for those type of movies.
But those type are, yeah, they're not bad. They're good. They're good. In other words, you shouldn't reward a film for aiming low and hitting it. In other words, if it's bad, you know, it's going to waste your time. But any kind of subject, even the most ridiculous subject, I just like a movie called Parents, which involves cannibalism in a horror film, and I think it's very funny and very wise actually about growing up and the terrors of growing up and the fear of parents and adult world and all that. And any kind of picture can be worthwhile, but it's a good film in my opinion.
So when you look at a movie, is it to the point where you're looking so at technical things also, or do you just try to look at the story?
You know, here's the funny thing. People say, since you're a critic, don't you think so much about the technical stuff you can't enjoy the film? You're probably a football fan.
Yeah.
You know all about the plays, right? The strategy.
Right.
You know, little X's and O's, they run around the field. The more you know about football, the more you enjoy the game, right? I think the more you know about movies, the more you enjoy the movie. So you're looking at the story, you're enjoying the characters and the action and the suspense or the comedy, at the same time that you're thinking about the technique.
Okay. So you can watch a movie that has good characters, but say the production is bad.
Well, we see every different kind of picture.
Kinds.
I mean, I just don't think it's as mysterious as people think, obviously because they don't do it. I mean, there are other occupations that I don't do that I probably think are very hard and strange, and I don't understand how to do them. But I think we look at it just like a member of the audience, but a little bit more intensely in the sense that we have an added component, which is we know that we're going to be required to say what we think about when we leave the theater in more than just a phrase. That we're going to have a lot more, and therefore there's another energy level going on that may not be present with the average person, but they're feeling the same kinds of things. They just know that they're not going to have to say them.
Well, gentlemen, we could go on with this discussion, but I just want to talk a little bit about your upcoming show that you have. And now this is the 500th show that you've done together.
We're going to call it the Siskel and Ebert 500th Anniversary Special. It'll be an hour-long special in June. So actually we have a special on before then, because in March we're going to have our Siskel and Ebert If We Pick the Oscars special. That's the show we do every year where we say, forget about the Academy, we're going to tell you who we would pick. And that'll be in March. In June we're going to have the 500th anniversary, which is going to look back over the fact that we've done about 500 shows.
And that's
together.
The one where it's going to be your first time before a live studio audience.
Yeah, in Orlando, Florida, down at the studios that Disney MGM have down there.
Are you nervous about that?
No, I don't.
I'm
sure.
In April.
No, let me tell you, it's a tougher job talking with Roger as the audience than it will be with talking with the general public.
Thank you very much for that.
Because you're a good film.
Wonderful tribute. Thank you.
It is. I have to be on my toes. I will be, obviously, for the general public, but I have a real good audience when I'm working on our show, and that's Roger, and I think he has a good one with me.
Fantastic. Well, I guess your ending line is see you at the movies, right?
No, it used to be that, but now we say, until then, the balcony is closed.
We'll be back right after this.